Hi everyone. So today we're going to be talking about how we calculate simple interest and what that looks like when we are calculating it over the course of time. So when we have a few vocabulary words that we're going to be looking at. So the first vocabulary word we need to think about is the word principal. The principal is the initial deposit amount. This is the amount that you first deposit into the account that will now earn interest. Interest is money that is earned on money that you've deposited. So it's a percentage of what you deposited, and it can be earned over months or years, and it just depends on what type of account you're putting it into and what that particular interest rate is. So we're going to be talking about simple interest. So we're going to be thinking about this in terms of a savings account. So if you go into the bank and you open a certain type of savings account, not everyone is like this, but there are accounts that you can open that will earn interest on the money you deposit. So let's say you start out with a deposit of $200. This is your principal amount. This is what you started with. So you got $200 for a birthday or Christmas, or you did a job and you earned $200 and you decide to put it into a savings account that is going to earn interest. We're going to look at an interest rate on this particular account of 3%. Now, the goal for us is to figure out, well, how much are we going to earn in interest over the course of 5 years? So if we're going to be figuring this out, we have to figure out what is 3% of 200. So we're going to do that just like we have with our two side-by-side proportions. So we're looking at a 3% interest. We do part over whole, and our whole here is 200. So this is what we're looking for. We're looking for what is 3% of 200. So we're going to do butterfly multiplication. I'm going to use P as my variable. So we're going to do 3 times 200 equals 100 times P, or the interest. So I get 600 equals 100p. Then I need to isolate my variable. So I'm going to divide both sides by 100. This cancels out. And I know 600 divided by 100 is 6. So the interest that I'm going to earn each year on the principal amount of $200 is $6. So at the end of 1 year, I'm going to put this on my data table, I will have earned $6 in interest. So then at the end of 2 years, I'm going to continue to take that percentage from the principal. So I'm not taking the percentage of what I now have in the account, which is $206. I'm going to again take 3% of 200. So after 2 years, I will have earned $12 in interest. After 3 years, it'll be $18, then $24. Then after 5 years, I will have earned $30. Now, I know this because every year I will earn an additional $6. So our goal is to figure out, well, what is our constant of proportionality? So we know that we're going to do, this is our x value and this is our y value. We're going to do our y over x. In this case would be 6 over 1, which equals 6. So our constant of proportionality is 6. And that also equates to $6 per year. So now I'm going to look at taking this data and I'm going to graph it onto a graph, because I want to not only see in my data table that it is a proportional relationship, but I want to see it in action on my graph that it is proportional. So I'm going to do 1, 6 as my first data point, 1, 6, then 2, 12, 318, 424, and 530. And I know that this graph is showing me that I am going to keep earning interest as long as I don't take that money out of the bank. And it's going to keep going straight. As long as I leave that money there, it'll keep earning interest. So a couple of questions to consider. First, when we're looking at our graph, what does the point 0, 0 mean to us? We know that's the point of origin, and we know looking at this graph, it is a proportional relationship because it's a straight line and it passes through the point of origin, which is here, 0, 0. So what does that mean? Well, looking at 0, 0, that would mean I have deposited no money and that has earned no interest. But in this case, I started at depositing $200. So 0, 0 would mean that there might be money in there, but I haven't earned any interest on it yet. So this could mean that there's $200 in the account, but it hasn't been in there long enough to actually earn any interest. And we've already established the constant of proportionality is 6. So just looking back at our information and the steps that we took, after 5 years, I have earned $30 in interest, which is a pretty good deal because I didn't really have to do anything other than go to the bank that one day and deposit that money. So we identified our principal. This was our first step. We identified our interest rate, which was 3%. We created a data table. Oops, that should be number 3. We created a data table. We figured out over here, step 4, the amount the interest will be each year. We identified the constant of proportionality here. And then we graphed our years and amounts of interest earned. So we created a graph that demonstrated a proportional relationship. We will continue to practice with different examples of how we calculate simple interest. Thanks for watching.